Did this one hit make Antonio Brown go crazy? Could it really have caused the best wide receiver in the league to have a public meltdown and be out of the league within 3 years? The story of Antonio Brown is a sad one. He was the best receiver in the league for many years, and it all seemed to unravel so quickly. Since Brown entered the league in 2010, he was dominant. Almost 10,000 career yards up to the game in 2017 where he was hit, 59 touchdowns on 733 receptions. However, after Vontaze Burfict almost knocked his head off, Brown was never the same. Countless incidents, both on and off the field, led to a rapid downfall in his career. While there may have been signs before the hit, nobody could have prepared us for what was to come. Cut from 3 teams, fights, assaults, and more. The story goes deep, but today I want to analyze whether this hit caused his downfall, if he has CTE, and if not, what caused the breakdown of Antonio Brown. I do want to preface this video by saying I'm in no way trying to disparage AB. I love watching him for the Steelers. He was electric. The situation with the Steelers and the teams he was with after he was traded always confused me. So I wanted to dig a bit more and see what caused this all to happen. This video is what I found in the conclusions I've made. Many have speculated AB developed CTE after the hit, so I wanted to start there. Firstly, CTE can only be definitively diagnosed after death. He has shown signs of stage 2 CTE, which includes violent, impulsive, or explosive behavior, aggression, and rage. So it makes sense why people think he has this. However, we know that CTE does not occur after a single hit, but rather the accumulation of smaller hits. And 20% of former players who were diagnosed with CTE after death never had a formally diagnosed concussion. Also, studies have shown that the odds of developing CTE aren't statistically related to how many concussions you've had, but correlates instead to how many years of football you've played. So a football player's odds of developing CTE increases 30% every year, doubles every 2.6 years, and increases by tenfold every 9 years, according to this paper. Brown played in the NFL for 7 years leading up to the hit, not to mention college and high school. He also ranks 21st all-time in receptions, which means among receivers, he's one of the most tackled NFL players of all time. Despite all this, obviously we can't confirm CTE, so I wanted to know if the concussion caused by this hit could have caused change in personality some other way. Traumatic brain injury, or TBI, involves significant head trauma like a concussion or a loss of consciousness, and that's associated with acute onset of behavioral problems. And Brown suffered quite a severe concussion after the hit. When recalling what happened right after the hit, he talks about how there was gaps in his memory. He was on the sideline acting normal, but he didn't remember any of that. The study found TBI seemed to have a high incidence of behavioral consequences in individuals, causing personality changes, aggressive behavior, and violent and offensive actions. This study also found behavioral discontrol, neuropsychiatric and emotional symptoms are relatively common and disabling consequences of TBI, especially in the case of severe injury. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so everything I'm saying doesn't come from a place of authority, but from the papers I've looked at, it seems to be a justifiable conclusion that the hit could have altered his mental state, and if you look at his behavior before and after, it seems like it had. At least that's the conclusion I've made. Saying that, there is the argument that this is just who AB was, who he is. He had incidents before the hit that prove he was problematic. My contention with this argument is it seems clear that the incidents increased in seriousness and his behavior changed, like he was more hostile and aggressive following the hit. It's fair to say there was evidence of problematic behavior, but not to the extent that occurred after the hit. He had an excellent career for 7 years, and then in about 3 years it all unraveled once Burfict hit him. Some incidents prior to the injury were losing a scholarship at FIU for getting into an altercation with a security guard on campus, fighting with teammate Ike Taylor during training in 2012, and then you also had former teammate Ryan Clark, who was critical of AB in 2017 during his final year of the Steelers when he had more outbursts.
Don't touch me, I'm the franchise, this and that, because he already had that mindset, and now with success, with money, these things come.
Because he's about stats, he's about money.
From these comments, it's clear AB had an ego, but I think it would be a leap to suggest that the behavior in the last few years post-hit was standard AB behavior. As mentioned, the frequency and the seriousness of the incidents increased following the hit. Compare what we just discussed to all of this. Throwing furniture off a balcony, these alleged claims from a former trainer, charged with burglary with battery after an altercation with a moving truck driver, a fake vaccination card, which led to a 3-game suspension, and then of course the infamous walking out of the stadium mid-game when he was with the Bucks. From the outside, it seems clear that he changed, whether that be CT or something else.
I am a superhero. I made it from Liberty City.
Sure.
I'm an example. I am the light. I am hope.
Absolutely. That's our plan. That's our goal. Everyone's going to be committed to get us in postseason, and I'm sure we're looking forward to a great year here in 2014.
That seems like two different people to me. Alright, thanks for watching.